The won't believe what recently happened in the hip-hop world, a full-fledged legal bombshell that is rocking the cage. What happens when a prominent rapper decides to expose his longtime rivals? Family secrets in a legal document. You read it right. Cameron just delivered the ultimate shade, and we're talking about exposing Jim Jones' family in a court suit that has garnered attention from Harlem to Hollywood. Is this the greatest betrayal the game has seen in years, or is it just another day in the shady world of rap drama? What dirty laundry has Cameron dug up, and how far will this struggle go? Spoiler alert, it's better than reality TV. Reunion with twists and turns that will leave you surprised. Stay tuned because we are going to break down every exciting detail, all the receipts and the ramifications that will affect careers. Trust me, you do not want to miss this. Grab some popcorn because the truth is about to become loud, nasty, and unpleasant. Let's get right into it now that you're seated on the Let's have a look at what Cameron has written in this remarkable court brief, which will have you on the edge of your seat. Some petty family feud, or an old school rap fight recycled for clicks? No, this is a full-blown legal expose with allegations. They're almost shouting for a Netflix series centered on Jim Jones, Harlem's own rapper. Cameron's filing describes a close-knit family company that is apparently built on fraud, corruption, and outright dishonesty. Remember the Dipset days, the famed gang that put Harlem back on the hip-hop map? Jim Jones, famed for his rough lyrics and street-smart hustling, gave the appearance of success and devotion, but behind the scenes, Cameron's files reveal that the image is a constructed facade concealing a deeper truth. According to Cameron, Jim Jones' family has been creating a series of bogus economic enterprises, firms that exist only on paper, but move millions of dollars via complex money laundering activities. One of the so-called organizations seems to be a real estate investment company on the surface, with actual high-rise towers in central Harlem. Addresses and a steady stream of investment, but probing deeper, as Cameron says he did with the help of inside sources, reveals ghost transactions, exaggerated property appraisals, and suspicious wire transfers. Imply that the money doesn't come from where Jim Jones says insiders supposedly gave Cameron with leaked bank accounts, reveal unexpected transactions in the millions, often followed by fast withdrawals to offshore accounts in the Caribbean and Europe, are merely the tip of the iceberg. The petition also charges other family members of cooperating in these scams are mentioned explicitly, while some are referred anonymously, but the message is evident that this isn't a one-time disgracefully. Others were apparently used as scapegoats when everything fell apart. Consider how family loyalty is weaponized to hide wrongdoing, creating a toxic milieu that reaches well beyond Cameron's rap drama. The petition describes hidden meetings in private homes where family members disagree violently over how to handle the consequences. Some call for full cooperation with authorities, while others demand silence at all costs. The image gets even more convoluted as reports spread about extravagant spending, costly cars, private planes, and lavish parties paid for with the same money that may be tied to these illegal activities. One unidentified source described a party where champagne poured like water. Designer labels prevailed. The attitude in the room was that nothing mattered since everything was based on lies. Fans recall Jim Jones' public image as a confident, larger-than-life figure hurling $100 notes in music videos. Cameron's bankruptcy raises an essential question. How sustainable is that lifestyle, boosted by unlawful operations, and more crucially, how long can the family sustain this farce? Under increased legal scrutiny, legal experts who have examined sections of the document off the record say the claims may open up several investigations, ranging from tax fraud to racketeering. They emphasize that if investigators find even a portion of what Cameron says, the entire family may face criminal charges that could destroy their business. Of course, Cameron did not show. Rumors and conjecture about Jim Jones' family finances have been circulating for years. Industry insiders have long suspected that underneath the sparkling facade is a maze of covered arrangements that aren't necessarily kosher, but no one had the bravery or receipts to go public until now, and the timing is, you guessed it, this court case, leaked few weeks before Jim Jones' highly anticipated album release, causing shockwaves across the music scene. The debate centers on whether Cameron's planned power move to gain attention is a sincere, their denial calling the filing a witch hunt. Search and accusing Cameron of seeking to make an old battle current. But here's the kicker: court filings do not lie, and these documents are already being scrutinized by media outlets, fans, and legal professionals. Similarly, social media is at conflict, with hashtags such as Entre Cameron's legal battle and Tro Jim Jones exposed trending. As fans choose sides, jokes criticizing wealthy Dipset lives circulate alongside serious forums dissecting the potential consequences. Some supporters refuse to believe their idol could be engaged in anything illegal, while others claim it's about time the truth got out, and it's not just fans. Other artists are discreetly chiming in behind the scenes, with some insiders admitting they're stunned but not surprised by the charges of the previously tight-knit Harlem. The rap, all eyes are now on what happens next at the trial, which may change not just Jim Jones' reputation, but also the whole Dipset brand, which has been popular for more than 2 decades. Will this family survive the storm, or will the empire crumble under the weight of Cameron's allegations? The next section will go into the juicy details from leaked reports. We'll uncover the bizarre stories using anonymous insider information and the public's explosive reaction to this disaster. Believe me when I say that the secret meetings, hush money, and power play behind the scenes did not make headlines. Don't miss it. It picks up right where we left off. This legal battle isn't your typical courtroom drama. Cameron's petition reads like a book, complete with bombshells, secret audio, and cash trails straight out of a Hollywood crime thriller. So let's get to the juicy details that have everyone talking. Let's start with the money, which is being discussed behind closed doors and on social media today. According to Confidential, that's where the real skeletons are hiding. According to information provided directly to Cameron, the Jim Jones family allegedly manages a complex system of shell firms masquerading as real businesses, with these organizations filing claims and laundering money through a complex network of accounts designed to conceal the true sources of financial movements, according to one insider who requested anonymity. Nameless, but claims to have worked within the family's financial management team, notified investigators that there were weed seed cables coming in from places that didn't make sense, businesses that didn't exist, and empty LLCs. This source went on to describe costly spending sprees that did not match Jim's income. Jones publicly said that we are discussing private boats, exotic vacations, and costly automotive purchases. Without any obvious economic objective, family members were apparently involved in the swindle. Leaked bank records paint an even more bleak image, with big incentives encouraging a culture of secrecy and greed. One file purportedly reveals a $3 million transfer from a Caribbean account to a New York-based property. Another document reveals an estate holding company participated in a transaction with no legal justification. Multiple cash withdrawals totaling more than $500,000 in a single month, all reported as suspicious behavior, went uninvestigated at the time, and the story doesn't stop there. The lawsuit also alleges that many family members used bogus identities to establish multiple credit lines and shell accounts, further aggravating the matter. Cameron's legal team believes that this was a deliberate attempt to hide assets and avoid taxes, but here's the real kicker. The court complaint relates to a series of audio recordings obtained by anonymous whistleblowers, which allegedly include private conversations between Jim Jones and his closest family members. Off-the-books transactions include hush payments and arrangements to keep everyone quiet while the money is kept. One film, which was allegedly leaked to the public but never officially authenticated, shows a family member saying, "If anyone tries to speak out, they lose everything. This is not just business, it is survival." The ominous tone conjures up images of a family governed by terror and intimidation. Of course, the Jim Jones camp has denied these allegations as fabrications and distortions. One seasoned producer said, "I've heard tales for years about some dubious deals behind the scenes, but no one had any evidence until today." Meanwhile, a former Dipset associate who requested anonymity said, I am not surprised family money gets its messy everywhere, but this appears to be on another level. It's bad, and it's not limited to the hip-hop culture. Local Harlem politicians and community activists have started to speak out, concerned about the potential effect of these assertions on the area's image. The community organizer stated, "Harlem's history is rich, and we don't need a controversy like this to overshadow it." Despite the community's efforts behind the scenes, the filing has sent shockwaves through the family's business acquaintances, and various firms affiliated with the Jones family have apparently begun to distance themselves. To avoid becoming involved in the debate, sponsorships and connections are being quietly withdrawn. According to insiders, private meetings between business partners have focused on damage management and how to handle a PR crisis that could spiral out of control. They are attempting to determine which contracts to terminate and who will be blamed if the feds intervene. A federal investigation has become more public, despite the fact that no official announcements have been made by the government. A person familiar with the case stated that many agencies, including the IRS and FBI, had expressed interest in the case. The source also stated that the financial irregularities reported in the file mirror the patterns we look for in money laundering and tax evasion charges, but emphasized that the investigations are still in their early stages. Back on the streets, supporters of both Cameron and Jim Jones have turned it into a full-fledged cultural debate forum. The comments section is congested with passionate disputes, with some accusing Cameron of treason and others labeling the Jim Jones family a mafia-style organization. Even musicians who aren't directly involved have spoken in via social media, casting hidden shadow on those who openly support Cameron's pursuit for truth and accountability. One popular tweet effectively summarized the situation. When hip-hop legends start revealing family trouble as a reality show, you know it's more than music. Despite the chaos, one thing is certain. This dispute is about more than simply rap. It's a cautionary tale about power. Money and family ties may combine to produce something terrible. And as the story progresses, it's anyone's guess how deep the rabbit hole goes. Will new players emerge? Will there be further leaks? Will the family manage to extinguish the fire before it consumes them all? We're just getting started, and the last section will break down the next legal battles, potential resignations, government investigations, and public reaction that may make or break the Jones family legacy. You won't want to miss what happens next right where we left off. Cameron's epic court fight is changing the face of the Harlem hip-hop culture and beyond. The once close-knit Dipset family is now shattered, the business empire disrupted, and the world nervously watching as drama explodes on every music front. First, let's talk about the court complaint. Caused an avalanche of responses, with Jim Jones' legal team responding with aggressive requests to dismiss the call. The accusations are baseless, defamatory, and purely strategic, but pressure is mounting. Several judges have already signed off on subpoenas for financial documents, and the courtroom is preparing for a full-fledged discovery procedure that may bring several family members and friends into the spotlight. Legal experts following this case believe it is shaping up to be one of the most serious. If prosecutors gain access to Cameron's papers, bank records, and audio recordings, the consequences could be severe, ranging from heavy fines to criminal prosecution. Yet, sources suggest internal problems within the Jones family. Multiple informants have claimed that a few key family members are quietly distancing themselves. According to one account, they distanced themselves from Jim Jones out of fear of revealing their own relationship. There is a lot of tension, people are picking sides, and some are willing to work together. To protect themselves, investigators have talked about prospective defections and inked deals with prosecutors, a move that might change the direction of the whole investigation. Imagine that family. Members who were formerly devoted have become witnesses in a courtroom drama fit for a Netflix film, and the public effect has been catastrophic. Less dramatically, the hip-hop world is divided. Some fans believe that this act tarnishes Dipset's past. Others respect Cameron for exposing corruption and sticking up for truth. As a result of the instability, renewed concerns about loyalty, power, And the ramifications of mixing family with Jim Jones brand links are having a significant influence. According to sources inside advertising agencies, major sponsors have begun to remove their commercials and endorsements owing to brand safety concerns. According to one source, corporations do not want to be associated with legal crises in today's social media environment, no matter how popular they are. This financial difficulty puts additional pressure on Jim Jones and his team, potentially harming future record releases, concerts, or commercial collaborations. When money runs gone, the underlying challenges become more personal. Friends of Jim Jones indicate that he is under considerable. One confidant said, "This is not just about business. It's a personal nightmare. Family drama overflowing into the gym is under a lot of pressure from the public glare." Jones has been witnessed meeting with major public relations specialists and legal lawyers in an effort to orchestrate his comeback. Rumors of a documentary on the incident have circulated, but nothing official has been published. Being confirmed, Cameron has positioned himself as the whistleblower, the one who dared to throw back the curtain on a family business with shaky origins. His team has remained silent, public, but busy behind the scenes engaging with investigators and preparing for what might be a lengthy legal battle. Some speculate that Cameron's timing was not coincidental and that he may be using this submission not only for justice, but also for a power play within Harlem's rap hierarchy. In any case, his action has sent a clear message: no family secrets are safe, and no empire is impenetrable outside of the courts. According to one neighborhood leader, Harlem residents and community leaders are prepared for the long-term consequences. This crisis has brought Harlem into focus. We hope it leads to accountability as well as healing, since the community cannot afford to remain divided by this. At the same time, local NGOs and youth programs are reportedly worried about funds as sponsors consider their involvement in light of one problem of Harlem's most prominent people, and the media frenzy surrounding the case has raised concerns about privacy. Critics argue that musicians' personal lives should be kept private, while others argue that transparency is needed when public leaders have significant power. As this crisis evolves, the music industry is paying close attention. Will more musicians come forward with their own stories? Could this lawsuit spark greater scrutiny of hip-hop's financial activities, or will it become just another forgotten? Once the headlines fade, one thing is certain: the Jones family drama has changed the game. What started as a rap battle has evolved into a legal and cultural phenomenon that is forcing everyone to reconsider what loyalty means. What does legacy mean in the realm of hip-hop? The legal hearings are likely to begin within the next several months, and sources say they might go for years. In the meanwhile, expect more leaks, drama, and potentially even more participants joining the battle if you thought this was just another feud. Again, this is the narrative of power, treachery, and survival portrayed through the lens of one of Harlem's most iconic families. Stay tuned for the final verdict when justice, truth, and legacy collide. All right, fam, now that you've heard all the wild facts, the hidden deals with family betrayals, and court battles that are shaking up Harlem's rap scene, what are your opinions on Cameron, the ultimate truth teller, exposing a corrupt empire, or just fueling the pot to bring down Jim Jones? May this scandal alter the game? Is Dipset just another chapter in their long-running nasty conflict? Don't hold back your comments. Who is really to blame here, and how far? Do you think this court battle will end? There is hope for the Jones family to arrive. Is this the end or the beginning? Finally, if you're ready for more exclusive, jaw-dropping exposés, smack the like button. Subscribe and ring the bell to guarantee you don't miss a single update. Trust me, you want to be a part of these incredible stories. Be the first to know when the next bombshell lands. Keep your eyes vigilant, ears attentive, and remember, in the world of hip-hop, the reality is always stranger than fiction.